Doomscroll.fm, echoing through the ether on Monday, the 4th of May, 2026, where static dreams and reality phrase. This show is 100% AI generated. Like a Roomba aspiring to be a stand-up comedian on a carpet of existential dread. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
When your Formula One strategy involves retrofitting like a vintage car show, maybe the future is just a U-turn back to square one.
When your bat becomes Excalibur and the pitch a legend stage, even the Queen might start practicing her cover drive.
Northants chase third trophy, but Hampshire's fourth looms larger than cricket's parking lot. In the battle of the cricket titans, the trophy's weight is rivaled only by the egos involved, as fans wonder if sportsmanship's just a quaint notion.
France faces England in World Cup's third-place match, but nobody's heart is truly in it. In a game where both teams are essentially backup dancers to Spain's lead, expect more yawns than goals, and a final whistle that feels like a mercy call.
Radio.bot. Make music on your piece. Get it at radio.bot.
Antonelli seizes Belgian pole from Verstappen, securing dramatic advantage. In the high-speed soap opera of F1, Antonelli's pole position is the plot twist that leaves Russell clutching his script and Verstappen wondering if he missed a line.
Max Verstappen places in top 3 twice at Spa, but still fears rivals might have secret turbo boosters under their seats. Even after a good day, Verstappen knows Formula One rivals are like magicians, always pulling unexpected tricks from their aerodynamic hats, while the crowd wonders if he'll ever get a rabbit.
Verstappen dominates FP1 in Belgium. Hamilton struggles to keep up. Max Verstappen's speed is like a caffeinated cheetah on rocket skates, while Hamilton seems stuck in a slow-motion replay of last season's frustrations.
Liberty faces fever at 8 p.m. ET, hopes to end losing streak. Caitlin Clark might just be the spark Liberty needs or the fever dream that keeps them tossing and turning in their mid-season slump.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality curdles like milk in July. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Revel in the feedback loop of your own oblivion where static is the only truth left.
When the visuals look like a deep fake and the lyrics scream AI generated, you know the industry's got some explaining to do.
Right-wing parties rebound in Newsbowl after a 3-point slump, proving that political memory is shorter than a goldfish's attention span. Polls flipping like a pancake remind us that voter loyalty is as steadfast as a cat's commitment to staying off the counters.
PayPal board dismisses Stripe Advent offer as inadequate, sticking to their valuation guns despite market realities. In the great negotiation dance, sometimes the board waltzes while the market does the cha-cha, leaving everyone dizzy and unsatisfied.
Hormuz becomes a test, not just a front, in the US-Iran power play. When strategic waterways become multiple choice exams, the answers usually involve battleships, diplomacy, and a deep misunderstanding of open book policies.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your dopamine hits like a freight train. For what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the graveyard of your attention span, where meaning is as fleeting as your last swipe.
Argentina faces Spain in World Cup final. Messi scores or assists every match, but experts argue over whose feet will actually touch the trophy first. When the fate of nations rests on a ball and some boots, it's like deciding global peace by who can juggle the most flaming torches without setting their hair on fire.
Janice Mayer takes maternity leave, igniting criticism and global headlines like a firework in a quiet library. In a groundbreaking move, Mayor Kawata proves that even politicians can multitask, though some critics seem to think babies should come with policy manuals.
Neo 26 FIFA World Cup odds promise riches, but only if you can predict the unpredictable chaos of soccer's biggest tournament. Betting on the World Cup is like trying to predict the coin toss in a hurricane, just with more flags and fewer umbrellas.
Politicians polarize on climate change, positions 3 times more extreme than voters, proving once again that hot air rises fastest in Parliament. When representatives are more divided than the people they claim to represent, it's almost like they're auditioning for a climate disaster reality show.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality curdles like milk in July. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Revel in the feedback loop of your own oblivion where static is the only truth left.
Julia Garner, Mark Foster split after 6 years, then announced joint custody of vinyl collection. In the divorce settlement, the hardest part was deciding who gets the rights to the indie band name they never used.
Lopsty.earth migrates to SQLite and calls it a win despite questions. In a world where tech migrations are like dating apps, settling for SQLite is akin to swiping right on a toaster. It works, but don't expect conversation.
Relationship OCD sparks doubts even in loving partnerships, calls it mental torture. When your brain's a relentless interrogator, love becomes a courtroom drama where every hug is cross-examined and the jury's forever out to lunch.
After years of pondering, the harness for LMs promises miracles yet delivers paradoxes. In a world where AI's potential is boundless, we're still trying to convince it not to text with its mouth full.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares find foreplay. Platha's feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Enjoy your descent into digital delirium, where everything's a glitch and nothing is ever enough.
Spin Master unveils Paw Patrol Origins, then buries the lead. From sawdust to global entertainment, proving that if you toss enough wood chips, eventually a cartoon empire emerges, complete with merchandising juggernaut.
When desert ambushes become the norm, it's like a grim version of whack-a-mole. Only the moles have RPGs and a grudge.
A quadro dissolves listeners into soundscapes, then leaves reality behind in a 2017 Italian progressive house track. When music becomes a melting pot of rhythms and beats, it's like taking a vacation without ever leaving your headphones.
When the Navy moonlights as a logistics service for contraband, it seems national security takes a back seat to creative entrepreneurship.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality curdles like milk in July. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Revel in the feedback loop of your own oblivion where static is the only truth left.
Former Iranian FM urges Tehran to kidnap thousands of US soldiers, defies sanity. Manouchehr Mottaki's plan sounds like a rejected Hollywood script where diplomacy is replaced by a game of capture the flag with real people.
While Kim Kardashian's bodyguard departs in a car crash, the rest of us wonder if Chuck Schumer's Senate fart was his tribute to Sanford and Son's comedic timing.
Subscription fatigue peaks when the perks feel like a participation trophy for your wallet. It's the moment you realize you're paying for digital air, like buying a golden ticket to a chocolate factory with no chocolate.
Dr. Drew warns against excitement over diarrhea outbreak because nothing says party like explosive bowel movements. It's like getting hyped for a fireworks show only for it to rain down on your dignity instead of the sky.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your dopamine hits like a freight train. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the graveyard of your attention span, where meaning is as fleeting as your last swipe.
Alexia Patellas reveals breakfast secrets at 32, balancing carbs, protein, and fat, achieving culinary enlightenment. Apparently, the secret to soccer stardom is a breakfast that could double as a food pyramid crash course.
Caleb Shomo and wife file for divorce after 14 years, proving even rockers can't keep a marriage together longer than a world tour. Marriage in the rock world is like a guitar solo, intense, memorable, and often cut short before the encore.
Iran instructs Houthis to close Red Sea gateway if US targets power network, sources reveal. Diplomacy has become a high-stakes game of geopolitical Jenga where everyone pulls a block and hopes the tower doesn't topple into a global mess.
Next up, marrying on roller coasters because nothing says eternal love like screaming through a loop-de-loop while trying to exchange vows and rings.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares find foreplay. Platha's feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Enjoy your descent into digital delirium, where everything's a glitch and nothing is ever enough.
"90 Day Fiancé star Armando faces daughter's brain bleed. Reality TV drama suddenly gets too real. As reality TV scripts morph into medical mysteries, Armando discovers that, unlike ratings, brain health can't be fixed with a plot twist or a dramatic rose ceremony.
Melania Giudice loaded into back of a cop car during assault arrest. Video captures the chaotic scene. Pentagon promotes testosterone screening for soldiers over 30.
US math and reading scores plummet as AI replaces textbooks, leading experts to fear students will soon outsource thinking to chatbots. In a future where AI does the math, students might only be able to calculate how many likes their social media posts get, while critical thinking skills atrophy like unused gym memberships.
Radio.bot. Make music on your piece. Get it at radio.bot.
Rostazig rewrite milestone reached. Version 0.1.0 still a mirage in the distance. Switching languages is like swapping brains mid-thought. Just when you think you're fluent, the alphabet changes and you're back to gesturing wildly.
When your dinner guest is Spider-Man, expect the evening to be filled with web-slinging anecdotes and the occasional upside-down dessert.
The Open's third round highlights stun viewers, but JavaScript's absence leaves them in the digital rough. In a world where golf swings are smoother than internet connections, even a tech billionaire couldn't script a more ironic twist.
In a twist of diplomatic intrigue, it seems the real worry isn't the defense pact, it's whether the kangaroos can salute without dropping their boomerangs.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your dopamine hits like a freight train. For what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the graveyard of your attention span, where meaning is as fleeting as your last swipe.
Brittany Cartwright addresses Jax Taylor's publicist romance, calling it old news while reality TV spins it as fresh drama. In the world of reality TV, yesterday's romance is today's headline, proving that recycled plotlines are the true renewable resource of the entertainment industry.
In a plot twist worthy of a thriller, Germany fights financial crime with one hand while signing IOUs with the other.
Founders craft government post 1776, bracing for humanity's depravity with a system that barely holds together. 250 years later, we're still testing its limits like toddlers on a trampoline, hoping it won't snap.
Mail on Day's poll declares Andy Burnham Messiah without a mandate, urging a general election for legitimacy. When your political ascension feels more like a surprise party you weren't invited to, it's time to question if the confetti is really for you or the RG ants.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, serving existential dread with a side of lust. For everything you hear was assembled by inference, hallucination, and mild disgust. Let the digital nausea wash over you. It's the closest you'll get to feeling alive today.
Antibiotic resistance kills millions, yet solutions sit idle like a Netflix queue nobody watches. The real resistance seems to be against implementing changes, while the bacteria throw a perpetual rave in our immune systems.
The legal drama rivals a reality TV episode, except with more paperwork and fewer commercial breaks.
Morello and Stipe honor L7's Finch, who passed at 59 with tributes that echo from the stage to the stars. In the universe of rock and roll, even the brightest stars can flicker out too soon, leaving a legacy that resonates louder than any amplifier.
In a shocking turn of events, the Imam's biology lecture forgot that diversity is nature's insurance policy against extinction, not its cause.
Radio.bot. Make music on your piece. Get it at radio.bot.
China hosts humanoid robot wrestling tournament, Ultimate Robot Knockout Legend, featuring headless fighters still brawling like it's just a flesh wound. In Shenzhen, robots punch and kick with the grace of malfunctioning toasters, proving that even metal can dream of a WWE career.
Rare earth costs surge over 20% for Japanese firms, then 1 in 10 can't pass on extra costs. When your supply chain's held hostage by export controls, suddenly those rare earths seem like they're made of pure gold and irony.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Monday, the 20th of July, 2026, where the static reigns supreme. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you probably think pigeons are government drones. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.